talking to you just went to work. I don't know if I enjoyed the view on the way back. And I forgot to tell you the witching story. So, witching. Huh. So I go on the internet and I start looking at what it is, and holy fuck, there's a lot of kooks out there that are talking to their rods, and oh my gosh. But I watched this professor from the University of Washington that totally believes in it. He went out and showed you exactly how to do it. On the college campus, they have a pretty good well up there, I guess. And hold on, the camera's getting fucked up. And so I watched his video on it. Basically, he just, you know, try to hold the rods straight in a line. Don't let them swing apart. Don't let them swing together. Just concentrate on holding them straight and, you know, parallel to each other. And it doesn't matter if you hold them low, high, whatever. It just hold them out in front of you, just like that. And then he would walk across this grass field, and they would just, I mean, like magnets, they would just fucking swing together in an X, and then just cross to his body. And then he would show you, okay, that spot right there. Then he would line them back up, and he'd walk again to the straight across from where he found that. And then I'm turning everything down. I just forgot I had all the wind blowing and everything and the radio going. Pretty good chance of showers this weekend. I like chance of showers. Chance of showers means 15-degree drop in temperature. So it gets cold. So where I could wear some nice pants, because wearing pants around here is way more efficient because you're traipsing through all these bushes and shit, and by the time I get home from working on the ranch or something, my legs are all cut up, and I didn't even realize that, you know, as I was pushing my way through these tall brush, that I was cutting myself. So anyway, back to the, I digress. Back to the professor. So he's walking across the meadow, the little grassy meadow, and he goes again, it crosses. So then he moves up the meadow, or down the meadow actually, about 10 feet down the meadow, and he walks that same parallel line with the other one he did, and he gets the two hits again about, you know, 16, 18 feet apart. And he keeps doing that until he's tracked this underwater coffer right to the well, the college's well. So, and he just said, you know, it's that easy. So I went out and got some copper brazing rods. A friend of mine, Ted, said, yeah, John, I mean, fuck, they say half the people can do it, half the people can't, but you should find out if you can, just because that way you're not guessing on the next drill location for the well. And I'm like, fuck, anything that would help, I guess, would be nice. So I went and got some brazing rods, some copper brazing rods, and I bent the little handle, and I went over to Ted's house to do it with him because he knows exactly where his coffer is and his well, because he had a witcher come over there and find it for him. And so I went over there like twice, and he wasn't home, and he kept, every time I'd see him at the Cama Center, he'd say, dude, when are you gonna come over? So like the third time I went over, he wasn't home again. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go see if I can find it, because I knew where about it was. And I tried to do what the professor said, just walk with the things parallel. And I got to a certain point where it was literally like half a step, and those things just fucking swung over and hit me in the chest. And I mean, the only way you can do that, you can't even do that with a long rod like that. Even if you moved your hands to try to do that, you would see so much elevation and wrist movement to get it to sweep across that fast. So I kept walking through that, and sure shit, about 18 feet after, I hit another one where it crossed just like that. So I made a little mark in his hayfield where he has already dissed it and got it ready. And actually, I didn't realize that they had just seeded it. And after I told him what happened, he said, dude, how many of those marks did you make? And I'm like, I don't know, I did a bunch of foot ones, you know. He goes, shit, my partner's going to be asking what happened there when there's a big circle that there's no grass growing on. It looked like a crop circle. Anyway, so I traced up and down his mountain side, and I marked out every spot that I found this little underground river on both sides. And you could see the thing go right down the hill, and there's his well right at the end of it on the bottom of the hill. And I was like, fuck, man, is it that easy? Can I really, you know, witch? So I said, fuck it, went out on the property. Well, I told him the next day what happened. And then the next day I saw him at the camera center early in the morning. And he said, are you going to do that today? And I said, yeah, I'll probably head over there now. And he goes, all right, well, let me know what happened. And then next thing I know, I'm at the camper and everything. He shows up in his side-by-side. He's like, I want to see this. And we walked out there, and I found like 3 places where it crossed pretty heavily on me. And one of them was a very slight one right after I passed the well that we drilled. Just a very little one where if you concentrate and you just hold on to those things and think about it, you actually feel like they have become magnetically charged a little bit, because the way they're trying to get together and you're trying to just hold them parallel. So you can almost like feel that. And so, but just a slight one. Then I walked through this area and I found another one where it really whipped pretty good. And so I tried to trace this on both sides and see if I could follow where this thing was flowing. And I went all the way around it in a circle and didn't find anything. I could just find it on one hole, on one spot. So I thought, that's probably like the one we drilled already, you know, where it just drained out in 15 minutes and it was, you know, soot after that. So I kept walking around and I found a pretty good one about halfway between that and where we drilled the old one. And I marked that with, meanwhile, I'm laying branches down everywhere I find these. I pick branches up out of the weeds and shit and lay them in the direction I'm finding these so I know where they are. Well, I did my little thing. I'm like, that was kind of inconclusive, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like there was any, like, spot where I couldn't, like, get them to stop crossing or anything. So I was like, fuck, am I gonna place my next well on my theory of, do these 2 fucking metal rods cross or not, and can I even do this? I mean, it's better than a fucking full-on guess, but it's not much to go on. So I'm like, fuck, that even made it worse. And I was telling Bud and Donna that at the ranch, and a couple days later I was over there and someone showed up. Well, a lot of times when they have family or guests or something, I try to find a way to skedaddle out of there, so I'm not there all the time with, you know, the family all be like, who the fuck is this dude? But so I scattled out of there when a guest showed up. Well, come to find out, this guest that showed up was Jake, and he is a witcher. He's done it for a long period of time, and he's found many, many wells. And he told Bud and Donna, tell John to give me a call, and I'll come over there and I'll walk it and I'll see if I can find what he finds. And right away I'm like, oh fuck, that would be awesome, because then it would be a little less of a guess. I mean, still it's witchy, you know. I don't know how much. I can tell you what, when I found Ted's stream up there, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So it seems like to me witching is witching, you know. So Jake comes out to the property the next day at 10 o'clock. Ted comes zipping down in his side-by-side too, because he wants to see this. Now Ted knows where I found him. He knows exactly where I was walking around, what I found. He's like, you know, we're behind Jake, and he's like, hey, lead him over to the, you know, one you found over there. So we're doing all that shit, and Jake found every fucking thing I found verbatim. He found a slight one right after the well and went, I feel something here, but it's not nothing major. And then he walked across and he found that fault one I found, and I intentionally walked him past that, but again, there's a stick laying at his feet that is in the direction that I found it. So I'm like, that's my stick right there at your feet, dude. And he's all, hands me his rods, and he goes, walk across there. And I found it 4 feet before he did. I found it. And he goes, well, fuck, you must have like stronger magnetic abilities than me. And so he took the rods back. I walked him where I wanted him to go, which was around where the well, where we were planning on drilling the next well, which was as far away from that piece of shit mud hole as we could. Then I walked him towards that, and he went, John, I don't find nothing here. And I said, that's exactly what I fucking found when I was up here. Nothing. I didn't find shit, and you didn't either. So I can't let him fucking drill here. Regardless, if we're gonna guess, let's guess on the fucking magnetic rods, you know? And so he went back and he traced that one after another. He crossed that field like 20 fucking times, all the way into Richard, my neighbor's property, and all the way up above me. The same exact one I found. And he went around the one I found in the trees, and when he found it, he goes, oh yeah, there's something right here. And I said, Jake, now try to find where it comes out of this trees, or where it runs, or anything. And he walked all the way around a little set of trees that were probably, 60, 70 feet apart, and found nothing. It was just a little pool that was right under our feet. And he found exactly what I found. Except he traced out a couple of them into my neighbor's property and stuff for, just to see if it was, really go as far as he thought. And he just smoking a big stogie, walking around my property, just confirming everything I saw. So now we're gonna change the location of the well for sure when Morgan gives me a call. And actually that, to me, that's gonna take a little off of Morgan's plate, because the first location was me, just a location of convenience. Hey, let's put it right by the barn and the pole barn. Fuck, why wouldn't you? It's right there. Got that quick electricity, everything. Don't have to run much of shit except to the house. And all the fucking wells in the neighborhood are all 80 feet, and they're all super producers. Where could this go wrong? And then it fucking went wrong. Well, so now I brought the witchers over, including myself, Supreme Witcher now. And hopefully we've at least made a more educated guess on the next location. We'll see, because I'll definitely make a video on that one. But I'll have to thank Jake again for confirming it if we find water for sure. Shit, is that... And like I said, for Morgan, shit, that takes a lot of pressure off Morgan, because, like I said, the first location was mine. The second location was his idea of, let's get as far away from this piece of shit as possible. But in reality, I would love to drill a well up there just to see, but not for 6K. But in reality, I believe that would have been another shithole. So we're gonna go in the middle there and see if we can't find that little river that flows right down to the end of my neighbor's pasture. Anyway, that's the lowdown on the well situation right now. My well driller had an operation on Wednesday, so we'll see if he feels better, good enough to get out this week or next week. But it should go pretty fast, and boom, we're gonna have water. Then shit really starts. And then all this water around here will drain out. Everybody will feel better and stop thinking about the floods. I don't know if you can even see that, but out there is just a giant fucking lake. You could ski on it. And that doesn't belong there. That's an alfalfa field. Not alfalfa. Grass hay, they call it. Alfalfa. It's not even near alfalfa. The horses really love it though. Problem is that these fields, a lot of times you think are just fucking pristine grass hay, just blowing in the wind. The horses eat the top of it off, and all the bottom of it is weeds. Not the bottom of the grass hay, but the grass hay is growing through these thistle type shit fucking weeds that the horses and the cows won't touch. So once they get these shiny parts off the top of the grass hay and everything you think is awesome, then they start eating around the patches of weeds, and all of a sudden 3/4 of your feet